subject of this. So when making the subject type questions, it's very similar to solving, like you're usually doing, trying to solve for x. Just that they haven't assigned numbers to the other variables. A and C could very easily be just 4 and 5, for example, and you could try and solve it from this perspective. But they are not. They are A and C. Okay. So if we want to make x the summary of this, Sheila? I'll come to that here. When I want to make x the subject of this, I try and have x's on one side, have everything else on the other side. So the moment this bx and 3x are on opposite sides, I want them all on one side, same as if I was trying to solve it. So I'm going to subtract bx from both sides. That we get rid of that from that side, and I'm left with 3x minus bx plus a is equal to c. Okay, so that's step one. These two x's are on the same side. This a I don't want here. I want it on the right hand side. So I minus a from both sides. Now you could have done that all in one step if you wanted, but I'll do it step by step. So now I have 3x minus bx is equal to c minus a. Now some people, and you're more than welcome to do this, you can just do this by looking at it. Swap the a over here because minus a, bx over here because minus bx. You're more than welcome to do that. I'm going to run out of space, so we'll just get rid of this question. Next step is probably the hardest part of this. Valentina? Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and that's called, because x is in both, it's called factorizing when you remove that x, like divide them both by x and leave them outside. C minus a. That was the tricky part, I think, of this problem. Factorize at this stage. All right, and then once I've done that, it's x times something, so I want to do the opposite to timesing. I would divide both sides by 3 minus b, because that fits into that. Once, I'm just left with x. You don't have to rewrite it, but I will. And that is the answer to the first one. Okay, that is definitely a skill. When you have more than one variable like x here, and you're asked to make it the subject, you're going to have to factorize, do this thing, factorization. Okay, so that was question 1. Question 2, even though I here, I redo that. Okay, so this is a standard solving. Anyone think they have an answer to this one? Dan?
Negative 23 over 4.
Yeah, that's correct. Negative 23 over 4. Okay, let's go for this one. I'll do it in blue again. It seems to be clearer on screen. Key here is common denominator. At the moment, my denominator is 3, 6, and 1. So my common denominator between 3, 6, and 1 is, Matthew, 6, yeah. So if I want to get this to 6, I got to multiply the denominator by 2 to get it to 6. I'll do the same numerator. This multiplied by 6 to get 2. And now they would be all over 6. So I don't really care about the denominator anymore. I only care about the numerator. It's anything that's different. So this would be 2x. I'll actually keep it in blue. 2x. Oh, not yet. 2x over 6, but I'm going to ignore that because everything's going to be over 6. Minus 1. Minus 1. Now this minus has to be applied to this, and this is the trick to this question. Minus minus 2x. That's plus 2x. So this does change. And this is going to be minus 24 over 6. But once again, they're all over 6, so that doesn't matter. So at this stage, I can combine these two like terms because they're on the same side. 4x minus 1 is equal to minus 24. So I just combine those to get 4x. Now it's a two-step solve. Add 1 to both sides. 4x is equal to minus 23 now. Divide by 4, the opposite operation. X is minus 23 over 4. Okay. So the difficulty here, how to apply a common denominator, and when you're minusing a fraction in this step, you've got to make sure it affects both things on the numerator. Okay, that's question 2. Question 3 was an inequality. 3x minus 5 2x plus 7. Okay. So inequality, you pretty much treat it like an equal sign unless you end up with a negative x. And then that's where you have to start thinking, changing this inequality sign. So subtracting 3 from both sides could be a start, or you could subtract 2x from both sides. You could do either. I'm going to actually do the 2x first. So I don't have x's on both sides. So that's 3 minus 7x is greater than or equal to positive 7. Now I want to get rid of this 3, which I was going to do the last step, so I can do it now. Minus 7x is greater than or equal to 4. This is the problem with the negative. I can't just say that's 7x and minus 4. What do I need to do? You change everything, yeah. Change this sign, and this sign. So 7x less than or equal to minus 4. And this came up in year 12 this morning. They forgot this thing that you swapped the sign, and they got most of them got the question wrong. Okay, and then divide by your 7 to get rid of the 7. And x is less than or equal to minus 4 over 7. Now, then a part of this. Congratulations. Part of this is going to be drawing an underline, which is kind of almost a needless skill, because what you end up doing is you just go, all right, I'm going to put a dot at minus 4 over 7 if you want to do it the quick way. You could put the between 0 and minus 1 if you want, and just it's less than or equal to, so it's a solid dot, and it's going backwards. Some sort of diagram like that is more than enough. The GCSE are insistent on this skill, even though you probably could figure it out from this, that you put it on the line, but it is what it is. Okay, so that's question 3. Question 4. What's that? Oh. X over 2. X over 2 is equal to 8 over x. Sheila, what did you get for this one? 4. Okay, anyone else get something different? Zach? You have 4. Anyone get something different? This one? Everybody got 4? Okay, well, my common denominator here, well, is going to be 2 and x together. So that's 2x, the common denominator. So I want this over 2x, I have to multiply top and bottom by x. And if I want this over 2x, I have to multiply top and bottom by 2. End up here with x squared is equal to 16. They're both over 2x, so I can ignore the 2x's. So if x squared is equal to 16, x must be the square root of 16, which of course is 4. Yeah, I heard you. It's not the only answer, though. 2. No, it's definitely not 2. 2. Plus or minus 4, remember that? Minus 4 squared is also 16. You only get a half marks if you wrote plus 4. So it can be negative 4 as well. Both square to give, because minus 4 squared is minus times minus plus, and 4 times 4 is 16. So remember that. So x could be either plus or minus.
So if you want the full mark, you do.
Yes, correct.
If you don't do it, you still get 4.
How is that different than this question? Yeah, I was thinking. No, you won't get full marks unless you write plus or minus. So beware of that. Anything with x squared generally has 2 answers. All right, question 5 then. Question 5 was probably the easiest question. It was a straight up solve. 3. Anyone not get 3? I'll try it anyway, just really quickly, just in case. And next to both sides. Chill. Thank you. 6 plus 3x is equal to 15. Subtract 6 from both sides. 3x is then equal to 9. Divide by 3 both sides. X then is equal to 3. It's not plus or minus 3. No, but then that'll be minus 2 if you want to cancel. I mean, opposite signs to cancel. Yes.
Now, because it's plus 2x.
And minus 2x, but they're on the same. Yeah.
Wouldn't it then be 4x?
No, because they're on the same side.
Yeah, no, the different side.
Yeah. Okay. Question 6 then. Let's have a go with it. Another common denominator question. Anyone get an answer here?
Yeah.
What did you get, Shield?
-8.
No, -6. Yeah, I'm leaning towards -6/5 myself.
Oh, never mind. No.
Okay, and x -1/2. Okay. Common denominator here is probably going to be 10. This is multiplied by 2. All this multiplied by 2. This multiplied by 5, and both these multiplied by 5. This is already over 10, so it's okay. This does contain another one of these minuses that affects both these two. So you got 2x minus 12, and this multiplication minus 2x plus 2 is equal to 5x minus 5. That's gone because they're on the same side. 2x take away 2x. It's not necessary to do that, so that cancels out with that one.
Wait, so why is there +2?
It's plus.
Oh, sorry.
25.
9. 2x plus 2x.
Whoa.
I know that wasn't what you were finding out, Jacob, but yeah. Well done for spotting that, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I said 2.
You confused me, Jaden.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Jaden confused me. I was right the first time. Minus 2x is minus 2x, but minus 1 is plus 1.
That's what, sir, I was correct. I was.
You were right, yeah. You confused me, but you were right, yeah.
Wow.
All right, this still cancels out with this. All right, exactly. Minus 12 plus 1 is minus 11, I think. Equals 5x minus 5. All right, the x is on this side, but that's okay. We'll just deal with it as normal. I want to get rid of this minus 5. So that's minus 6 is equal to 5x. Then divide by 5 to finish. So x is minus 6/5. Or minus 6/5 equals x. The way around it's fine. Okay, that was the first page, which seemed to cause less difficulty. The second page was a bit of a disaster, I think, from walking around. Simultaneous equations. There's two main methods. Substitution, elimination. Have you heard those words before?
No, yes.
Good. So I only really use elimination. I don't tend to go towards substitution. I think elimination is easier. So we'll just stick with elimination for now. So this first one is y is equal to 4x minus 1. And the second one is 3x minus 2y is equal to minus 8. Yeah. Anyone get an answer for this? Besides Gabe, I think I saw your answer. Antina? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Okay. First step with this elimination method is to line up the x's and the y's and the numbers all under and the equal sign all underneath each other. Which means I have to rearrange one of these. So I'm going to rearrange this top one. It's now going to read the 4x, I'm going to subtract from both sides, become minus 4x, still plus y is equal to minus 1. That's the same as that first equation. Sometimes people live in equation 1 or 2, or equation A and B. The second one, I'll just keep the same. 3x minus 2y is equal to minus 8. But still equation 1 and 2, they just lined up slightly differently. Now, I'm going to add these going downwards. Because if I have minus 4x, so the first thing about simultaneous equations is the answers are the same. So I can imply this x is the same as this x. They're the same. So I can combine these two equations into one big one by just adding. At this stage, though, if I add this, I just get a third equation in x and y. If I can eliminate either the x's or the y's, I'll end up with just an equation, something x equals a number, which I can solve pretty easily. So I'm going to multiply this line by 2 in the next line. This first line I'm going to multiply by 2. Not minus 4x, minus 8x now. Plus 2y is equal to minus 2. All right, just pick 2 out of the top of my head. Why on earth did I do that? This one stayed the same. Now I'm going to add down. What's changed? Easily amused. Okay, what has changed?
Now the 2y will cancel each other out.
Yeah, now if I add this 2y, take away 2y, they're opposite signs. This is key. This disappears if I add. Down. Minus 8x plus 3x, adding, is minus 5x. That's gone. Equals minus 2 plus minus 8. That's minus 10. And this equation is easy to solve. What's x? 2. Once x is 2, once you've figured out one of them, what's the next step? Find y. Find y. How do I find y, Zach? Ashil, how do I find y?
Take one of the letters up. You take
Okay.
so we replace by 2.
Yes.
So it's 6 minus 2y equals 6.
Exactly. So now that we have one, you could do this whole method again and eliminate the x's this time, find y, and you'll get the same answer. Easier is to pick either equation. I probably would pick the other one because it'd be easier to work with, but and you will get substitute your new answer in. So that's 6 minus 2y is equal to minus 8, and that's just a two-step equation in itself. Subtract 6 from both sides. Minus 2y is equal to minus 14. Therefore, y must be 7. You can see that 2 times 7 is 14. Okay, so that's the elimination method. Key here is this. Multiply one of the equations by a number. It can be a positive or a negative number, so that it cancels out and disappears either the x's or the y's. You pick whichever one looks easier to remove. Okay, I'll do the other ones. I don't think we don't have time to do the 3 tomorrow. So hold on to that. Give the other, if you want to give them another go before tomorrow, do. But yeah, it's time. I know, time flies when you have some fun. Knew it. All right, we'll finish those 3 tomorrow. No homework. If you want to try the 3 before tomorrow, you can. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.